I'm the Chief Medical Officer at Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. The reason they call me Dr. Jeff is because I have a doctorate degree in psychology. I also have a master's degree in public health, and I went to UCLA for that, and I'm from Los Angeles. And so, anyway, I've been at Rythmia since the beginning. I work with the government of Costa Rica. We have an amazing facility that helps people overcome their issues and their problems. And it's really been an amazing journey for me, as well as all the guests that have come. We've had 15,000 people come through our doors. And something that happens at Rhythmia is that we have large groups of people that come at a time. And our program is a week long. And we have people that drink. The main reason that people come to Rhythmia is to drink ayahuasca. And at Rhythmia, we are the safest and the only medically licensed facility to do this in the world. And what allows us to do this in a safe way is that we have a lot of really trained, highly skilled staff, and our staff are amazing. And we have large groups that do this at one time. And people say, well, isn't it better to have small groups? And the answer is no. And how do we know that? Because we collect data. We collect outcome data that is self-reported from the guests. And what is your own personal opinion about your own experience? That's fine for you. But when you're looking at 15,000 people, then we have some trends and some patterns we've been able to watch. And what happens at the end of a ceremony or at the end of a week of ayahuasca at Rhythmia is that we ask all the guests, how did you do? Did you get your intentions that you set? Did you get the 3 intentions we teach you? Did you get your miracle? That's what we call having a soul merger. All these things that we ask the guests. 97% of them on average say yes, which is an incredible statistic. And what we've noticed in trends of the census each week going up and down, which means the number of guests that are there on property, sometimes there's, max, and we have the max amount of people there. And sometimes we have in the middle. And then sometimes we have in a lower end, depending on holidays or just vacations for people. And what are we seeing as a pattern for when we're at capacity or when we have a large group? We're seeing that the success rate is higher the larger the group. And I love when, I studied biostatistics for several years. And so I learned that my own personal opinion about what I think might be better is very relevant for myself and relevant for me. But it doesn't mean that that can be extrapolated out into the world. And so the data that we've collected are very accurate pieces of data that show the higher the group, the higher the number of people at our facility, the higher the success rate. So the more people in your group each week, the better the vibe, the better the energy. Now people ask, well, why is that happening? Why is that possible? Like, isn't that kind of counterintuitive? Wouldn't it be that if there's less people, then you get more attention and that there's less distraction and there's less noise and things like that, right? Which is all, common sense sort of things to think. And the answer is no. It doesn't add to a higher success rate when there's so-called more attention or less noise or less distraction, because what we've seen is what we call a parallel process. And a parallel process means anything that goes on within a clinical environment is relevant to the client going through this in their life. So if I feel unheard and unnoticed in my life, I might feel unheard and unnoticed at a clinical setting. If I feel that I don't have a voice in my life, I don't ever speak up for myself, I might see that manifesting in a clinical environment. Now, is Rhythmia a clinical environment? Yes, to a degree it is, because we have a medical license. You guys are there. You had to go through medical checks and balances. You had to be deemed medically appropriate to be there. There's medical staff. And so what's going on is very therapeutically beneficial. And the larger the group, the higher the success rate. So what that means is, I believe, my own personal opinion is that everybody's energy of healing, everybody's momentum of encouragement, everybody's positive talks and all the different people you get to meet and all the different varying experiences that everybody goes through and shares with the group, all of that contributes to your own personal success rate. So don't be worried if it's a big group or you think like, oh, I heard that Rhythmia has big groups. Yeah, good. The bigger the group, the better it goes. Now, is that valid for any facility in the world? I have no idea, because I'm not running those other facilities. I'm not I'm not taking data from those places. They might have a low amount of staff and might be unsafe. It might be sketchy. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just talking about rythmia. The larger the group, the better that your odds are of getting your healing. And on a nice note, you get to meet people from all over the world and you get to really connect and bond with like-minded individuals. So if you're feeling a little bit like, I've heard that Rythmia has these big ceremonies of ayahuasca, just go good. The bigger, the better, because that's what we've noticed. And we've been collecting data on this for almost 8 years. And we have some great numbers that show this. So don't be afraid of the big groups. Come to Rythmia and enjoy the momentum of healing that the energy brings with everybody there together working on all their issues. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you guys at Rythmia real soon. Put